Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. All right. It looks like we have settled down a little bit. So here we go. It is time to ask that all-important question. Are you STAAR ready? And hopefully by the end of this session, you'll be able to say, not yet, but I'm getting there. So we have an amazing program to offer y'all. I can't wait to show you all the details. My name is Leah Pinto. I'm the Director of School Success here at EduSmart. And we just are so proud of this offering and what we've put together for you. We want to start by kind of giving you a glimpse into our thought process and like how we view review for these high stakes tests. Because I've always said, in my experience, STAAR test, this prep for STAAR is like the wild, wild west of education. Like everybody's doing different stuff, right? Some of us will do a Saturday boot camp right before the test. Some people do a month boot camp leading up to that special test date. So, we have long-term teachers or long-term subs. We have experienced teachers or brand new teachers. Like, how do we put all of this together into one single cohesive program that works for all of your kids? Because everybody has to show growth. So, with this in mind, EduSmart, of course, will always start with the standards. So we took a look at what has changed from the STAAR test last year, the assessed curriculum. They've changed a little bit based on the new standards, like staggered standards that have been released. So we looked at all of the new TEKS and what needs to happen for the testable lessons. Now, we do know that TEA has said they will not include third or sixth grade questions on the STAAR test this year. So even though they're fair game on the assessment, they are on the assessed curriculum, they're not going to be tested this year. However, we know you still have to teach those standards. So we still are providing you content for all testable TEKS. Anything that's fair game on the test, we're providing you a pathway for. And not a lot of changes to biology, at least as far as the assessed standards go, but for all the grade levels, we do have some new item types, right? We have cluster questions as well as inline text, plus all the other non-multiple choice item types that we've had all along. Like, so the text entry, short constructed response, multi-part, multi-select, all those item types, data analysis, all the things that round out the STAAR. It's not just about content, it's all these other kind of practice items too. So putting all of that together, thinking through, okay, I have all my data. I have my NWEA testing, I have teacher-made tests, I have benchmarking, all of this data, and I know my kids and I know what I need to review for, but how do I make it work? And that is where STAAReady, like simple 1, 2, 3 process allows you to design your review that meets the needs of your classroom and your teachers and your students. So with that, you first select your standards. We have created a system where you can literally go in and check, these are the standards I want to focus on. So it makes it very, very easy to decide what is my greatest area of need in my room, even though next door they may have a different area of need. Then this is where the magic happens. You select your approach. We've designed a 3 pathway system. Each of these 3 pathways teaches the same content. So it's really about, how do I want my students to get the information? How do I want them to review? What modality do I want to use? Pathway 1 is teacher led. This is a high need intervention. For those kids who are struggling, they need a teacher and they need hands-on intervention. You do a 10-minute hands-on activity, a 10-minute reteach, and a graphic organizer. Teacher-led intervention. Pathway 2 is stations. It's a collaborative station model. The students will do a little digital piece together on a shared device and record all their answers on paper pencil. So it's very offline by design. It's a hands-on, and they have vocabulary, content review, and they travel together in small groups. Pathway 3 is completely innovative. This is our AI Socratic tutor. It is personalized intervention that meets every single student where they're at. So whether they're struggling and they need just a basic review of content or vocabulary, or whether these are advanced kids and we want to push them to be able to apply their learning so that they can reach that next level and still show growth, it meets those kids where they're at and then walks them through error analysis of how to answer a STAAR level question. It's amazing. And I'll show you how it works in just a minute. But the beauty of this approach is it's very formulaic for your classroom. Like I can make this structure work in any classroom. So I'm going to do a pre-test, 7 to 8 minutes. It's 5 questions, multiple choice. And then I'm going to do a pathway, maybe 2 pathways. Like I might have my students working in stations and I'm leading a small group through a teacher-led intervention. Regardless, all of the pathways are designed to be 30 minutes. So I can really structure my review based on what the students actually need. And then I have my post-test. It's the same 5 question multiple choice. It's just mixed up a little bit. And then you get clean data from pre-test to post-test that shows the student's growth. And that's how simple it can really be. It's a 1, 2, 3 process. So I will show you what it looks like in the system in just 1 minute, but I want to kind of walk you through what that process of picking a pathway, like how would I choose which pathway works best for my kids? Pathways are all, again, designed to be 30 minutes and they can stack. So if you choose to use pathway 2 in class, I could then later assign pathway 3 that individual work, either for homework, some kind of home connection. If they have a home room where we can do a little extra science time, I can assign that pathway to work on at a different time. I could have some students in my class working on this pathway 3, like individual computers, while others are working in stations with me. So it's really, really flexible. Pathway 1 is, again, this is your direct teach. It's great for if you have a teacher who can model their thinking and really understands content, right? Because this is an interventionist. So we're going to want strong content knowledge and students who need a full review. Now, I will say here, we wrote almost all of the content new for STAAReady. We've taken what we already have and what we already love about EduSmart and applied it to a more summary model, right? So all of the stuff that they're doing in all of the stations is really summarizing. It's things like card sorts, getting the overall picture of the standard, whatever that mental picture is that the kids need. It's really just providing that scaffold. So you're going to do a hands-on activity, again, a card sort, maybe labeling a diagram, maybe some kind of classification. We'll do a 10-minute content review. This is our instruction module. And then a 10-minute graphic organizer, which just allows the students to put their thinking in writing. Pathway 2, then, again, this is offline by design, and it is stations. So we're going to have a packet for the students. They're going to walk through and do their different activities. They have that packet, and it allows them to have that conversation and really dig into vocabulary in a very controlled kind of way. The stations are, there's 4 optional stations. If you want to stay with your 30-minute timeline, the stations are the vocab, content review, and reader. Those are the core stations. If you want your students to be able to do that same hands-on activity that we have available in Pathway 1, they can add that as an optional station. So just the only thing that changes would be the time. If you do 4 stations, it's now 40-minute pathway instead of 30. So you can really sculpt your time however you choose. The hands-on materials are super simple. 5 items or less, all like Walmart materials. So it's easy for the teacher to be able to set up and keep ready as the class goes through their stations. And then we have Pathway 3. I say this is best for students who work independently, but honestly, this is great for all students because, again, it meets them where they're at. And so it's going to provide whatever boost the students need to be able to identify their own misconceptions and their own gaps so that, they can fill in just that just-in-time correction that the kids need. And this pathway, and we'll introduce you to Coach Hootie in just a moment, but Coach Hootie is our AI Socratic tutor. And I think the big thing with Hootie here is that it's AI with guardrails. We do not allow the students to have any unfettered access to the internet or to AI. Our answers, all of our responses for AI come from a curated database, and it's all of our EduSmart high quality materials where the AI is getting its response from. So you're not going to have any inappropriate or incorrect responses, even when the kids try and break it, because we all know they're going to try and break it. That's what eighth graders do. So it's built with those kind of guardrails in place. It just keeps reviewing them, like sending them back to the question, back to the chart, and doesn't allow them to, yeah, to get it off track, kind of. So again, it's just AI with guardrails. So let's go ahead and jump into the system and let's see what this is actually going to look like. I'm going to So my STAAReady is already kind of set. So I'm just going to show you what this pathway would look like. Sorry, one second. Okay. So when you STAAReady will go live in our system on February 15th. Until then, when you click on the little link for STAAReady up at the top, it's under its own tab, you're going to get a placeholder. But on February 15th, when it goes live, this is the options you would see. So I'm going to choose my grade level. And here's my list of TEKS. I can choose whatever TEKS I want that my students need. Now, we're not going to cut off access. Like if I don't choose 5.6a right this second, you still have access to it. The idea here is we're trying to focus down to what is the most essential things I need for this STAAR review, right? And we want to take out the clutter. So I'm just choosing the standards that I need, and then I can choose my pathways. Again, you have access to all the pathways. Right now, I'm going to choose all of them so that you can see it. If you decide not to use one, you can take that off, but it's not ever like removing your access. It's just focusing to your own custom built dashboard. So STAAReady takes all that information you put in and it builds you your own dashboard that has only the standards you chose. And when I click into that, only the pathways that I chose. So it's real customized for you. And then also it has your simplified review or reports tab. So this is going to only show reports for what the students are doing in STAAReady. So your data stays clean. So again, I'm just clicking on the tile to access the content. We built out the quiz. This is the pre-test and the po-test on our quiz platform. Go ahead and go. Sorry, don't know why I got the little caution sign there. So it has all the built-in components, all the built-in like accommodations that you know and love with EduSmart. Has automatic text-to-speech. They can highlight any term and it will come up with a translation option, a dictionary option, and then all the text to speech is already built in. So it's built out on this platform that you already know. Assigning it is so simple. So when sorry, let me get my standards back up here, 5.6a. I'm working with a kind of a prototype model, so just get those all back. All right, sorry. So when I have my pre-test here, when I want to assign content to my kids, it's literally one click. I'm going to click assign. Your students are already rostered according to ClassLink or Clever or whatever single sign-on system you use. I choose the group that I want this to go to and I assign it. Like I can even schedule it in advance. Like, all right, I want this to go out. This is next week's work and I want it due next Friday. If everything looks right on my verification screen, I've now assigned the content to my kids. Like assigning is literally that simple. So now we give them the pretest. We take that 5-question pretest and I would go into my pathways. Pathways, we walk you through exactly what needs to be either assigned or prepped or printed. There is printable material in some of the pathways. Now, again, these are new materials, so it's not something you're going to see in the EduSmart platform currently. We wrote new materials, and for our for a lot of our digital components, if you know EduSmart, we take our instruction modules, that's the direct teach component, and we break it down into really manageable chunks of content for the students. For example, 5.6a. Now, this is a big, huge, hairy standard, right? This is like the most complex standard probably in fifth grade. This standard, we normally in our library have 6 IMs, instruction modules. So we break it down into 6 little chunks like mass and density and magnetism. But for a review, now we want to consolidate back. So we created new instruction modules that are like a review to cover the entire standard. Now it's going to use a lot of our, like, it uses like all the supports that our instruction modules always have. So for instance, when I click,
These cubes are the same size and volume. What happens when they are dropped in water?
so just like our all of our instruction modules, it's going to automatically read the text out loud to the students. Anything that is being read to the kids is also going to be closed captioned, and it has these built-in pauses for collaboration. I want the kids talking. I want them answering this question. We don't, if it's not necessarily a strong teacher, this gives them a great discussion prompt so I can really get my kids talking. Because the whole point is we can't sit and watch a 10-minute video. The kids just will lose engagement. So we want them collaborating, interacting, answering questions, drawing on prior knowledge, all of that with these built-in pauses with question prompts. So after they do the instruction mod, then we go to a graphic organizer. So again, summary thinking. We want them classifying in this particular case, and then justifying using their evidence. On all of the graphic organizers, we have this great little concept map. This is your built-in sponge, right? So if a group finishes an assignment much faster than the others, they can fill in this concept, like concept map. If they don't get to it, it's not the end of the world if they don't do this for every single one. So it just kind of helps with that time management. Lots of little features are built into STAAReady like that just help make sure that all of the students are on track and that they're engaged and they always have something to do that's really focused on review. So that's pathway 1. Again, activity, IM, graphic organizer, done. When we move to pathway 2, now I'm going to show this one just a little bit differently. So pathway 2 is our station model. So it's collaborative stations. We're going to have a really cute little, like a station packet for the student. So this is the actual paper pencil hands-on station model. We're going to have a little packet for them. And in the packet, there's a QR code that leads to our instruction module. They're going to watch the instruction module for the content, and they're going to do this together in groups. No signing in, no assigning. It's just simple. The kids are going to walk up, they're going to play the video or play the activity or view the reader, and then they have their station artifact where they're going to record their answers. So it's real simple for them. There's very, very little setup or prep once you print out the materials for them. And so again, it's a station model. I'll go back to this and show you the stations that we include. You have a vocabulary station. That vocabulary station is our word explorer, but what we've done is shorten it to 5 words, 5 key summary words, so that again, we can make sure it's like time bound. So we've taken that word explorer. It's a digital, like foundational word building exercise that the kids go through online. Then for the content review, they're going to do that the instruction module, as well as a graphic organizer, work in a group together and do that part of the activity. For station 3, they're going to do a reader. So our readers are really great, high quality. Sorry, let me get back to that reader. Really great, high quality nonfiction. So they're going to read the text and they will answer the questions on their station document. So all of our readers come with 5 question multiple choice, and then question 5 is a short constructed response. So they're just going to view this on the computer and they're going to actually write out their responses on their station document. This is really great practice for cluster questions because the questions are asking about more than one teak. And that's kind of the big thing with the cluster questions in science. They've had these in other content areas on the STAAR test, but this is the first year for science. So cluster question means I have one stimulus, either the paragraph, maybe a graph or a chart of some kind, and it's going to ask multiple questions about that stimulus, but it could come from different teaks. So for instance, it could be asking about like properties of matter, but then also ask about mixtures and solutions. So that one prompt could have multiple standards. And that's what's really great about our reader. It's perfect practice for the cluster questions because it does give them multiple teaks. It's very cross-curricular. And then finally, station 4, if you choose to do it, is the same activity that you have set up for the small group in pathway 1. So it's an inquiry-based activity. It's not trying to get them to do some kind of full-on experiment. It's really just creating some kind of mental picture for them. So that might be a card sort, or it might be a diagram, or it might be creating a model, maybe playing a simple game, something like that that just kind of really brings back what they've learned about that specific standard. So that is pathway 2. And then, okay, here comes the star of the show. Not that the others are not amazing because they have such great content and they're so simple to use, but Pathway 2 really will meet the needs of every student in your classroom. So I'm going to go ahead and click into our AI tutor and we can meet Coach Hootie. Coach Hootie is a Socratic tutor. All right. So I'm just going to use, this is one of my favorite questions. What is substance X? And in this particular case, of course, it is looking for, the answer is a liquid. The liquid is what meets the criteria in the chart. So I'm going to choose solid, just so you can get a feel for how the AI tutor responds. And it's usually the flow is going to go that Coach Hootie is going to give the kids some kind of immediate recognition, like, okay, great effort on that question. Let's think about it together. And then I'm going to give them an analogy or an example or some kind of a scaffold that they can grab. In this case, it's a mental picture of a Lego brick. If I put a Lego brick on a table, does it change shape on its own or stay the same? And I'm going to say stays the same unless I add more bricks, right? Because they're 8th graders or 5th graders and they're going to try and challenge it. It's okay. We're ready for that. So here's my little squirrel. It says it stays the same. Now Coach Hootie is going to identify the misconceptions from what the student is saying. It's going to redirect them always back to, hey, let's check out this. Go back to the chart, read the graph. What does the chart say? And then continue building in that way up to 5 rounds. Now, if we go back and forth 5 times and the student is still not understanding the concept, we're going to call it, like, stop. Let's say, here's the answer. Liquids is your correct answer here because, and it's going to give them the reason and say, okay, let's try this question again. And it's always going to lead back to the question over and over again. So in this case, when you pour water from a tall cup into a wide bowl, does the water change shape or keep the same? It goes into the new bowl. And Coach Hootie will again be able to come back around and redirect my thinking back to, hey, it's all about shape. Let's think about that shape. Right. So, and it's going to continue on in this way. Again, you get 5 questions because we want it to be about a 30-minute experience. So it matches up that timeline with any of the other pathways that you're doing. So just to kind of reiterate, and I know we're running up on time, y'all, we do appreciate you being here, and we will be sending you a copy of the recording after. And know that we're going to stick around in case you have any questions or want to talk to anyone in our team. Our sales team is here as well, so you can have those conversations. But just to kind of reiterate, as we start to finish up here, know that the the whole idea of this building on the pathways is that you can fit this to your schedule. And it's, five question pretest, your 30 question pathway, which or 30-minute pathway, whichever one you choose, and then your post test. Reports, we're going to keep it super simple. I'll show you what they look like in a second, but the reports, you have your pretest and your post test, and we're going to show you growth from there. You'll also be able to see all of the transcripts from the Socratic tutor. So you can see, what the students responded, what the Coach Hootie said, and then there'll be a summary so that you don't have to read through the entire transcript, but there will be a summary of, hey, the student engaged with Coach Hootie and they worked really hard, but they still don't understand the difference between solids and liquids. That kind of level of, hey, they're doing great on this, and then this is where we want to focus. And you'll get that on a student level and a classroom level. So you'll be able to get an overall view of where my kids are at. All right. So with that, yeah, sorry, this is kind of what the reports will look like. It'll show you your pre and post, show growth between, and then again, we'll have a separate one that shows a little bit about that pathway 3, like a summary of how the students performed and engaged. So with that said, we again will be here for questions with any questions you might have. I know there was a couple comments come through the chat, so I will check those in just a minute. But if you're interested, if you want to know more, we do offer a free trial. You can check it out check out a free trial and then move that into extended access. So let us know. Reach out to sales@edusmart.com. And yeah, let us know, what questions do y'all have? See,
Hi, I typed the thing. Is it possible to get the presentation so that I can share with my teachers? We are using this at our
absolutely.
school. They're gonna join the Zoom, but just as a reference to go back to.
Yes. Yes, we will
Um,
provide a copy of the presentation. And there's going to be a lot of asynchronous kind of training as well. So there'll be a quick little video to get teachers started and, all those kind of tools that they need as well. So you'll have full support there.
okay, will you guys email that to us afterwards, or how do I get it?
Yes. Yep.
Okay,
We'll
perfect.
be emailing it to you afterwards.
Perfect. Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks, Amy.
So, excellent question, Miss Bryant. So, is it something you set up each day? So, the answer to that is really in this first little flow. Let me just restart and go back here. So, how do you want to set up your review? Like, if I have in my district, we had 10 days. We have a 10-day review. So, I'm going to choose my 10 standards that I know are high need, high impact standards. And that's going to be one per day. Now, I will also say we have some districts who are doing some cool stuff, like really cool stuff. So some district for those TEKs like 3.7A that is not going to be on the test this year, they're starting this month. Every Friday, we're just going to do a pathway. So I would just be able to set it up for that day. Some people are doing full weekends. We have one that's doing a boot camp weekend and it's like 8 hours and they're just going to set it up for each of those. It's really a matter of, I'm going to look at my kids and I'm going to say, okay, 5.6A, man, that one is a tough one. I want to do pathway 1 with them because I know they need a full reteach. And then if I know that my kids are kind of low in another one, I might say, gosh, this one, I want to do more than one pathway. I'm going to sign out both my review, my stations, and they're also going to do that pathway 3 individually. So yeah, it's super flexible for how you want to use it. I hope that answers your question. So if you are a current subscriber and you already have EduSmart, you will get this live on February 15th. It will automatically turn on. You'll be in the system and you will go to STAAReady and it will start your process. Okay. So yes, current users, it is included with your current subscription. It will just go live on the 15th. Yes. Awesome. What other questions do y'all have?
So our district is having us pull data on this. It's not like synced up, right? Like with the form, we're in SciFair. Um,
Right.
I
Right.
Christina and I are, and I don't know if there's anybody else on there. But anyways, so we're doing this data form or whatever. Does it sync up with y'all, or are our teachers just using the form to input what they want in EduSmart?
So your teachers are using that form to identify the standards that their kids need. And then you'll take that information and that's where you'll choose like,
Click.
hey, I want this one, and this one. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how that data, it's how Aisha is wanting to use that data form is just here's your quick list of what you want. And now here's how, when we do that training on the 13th, how we're going to apply that and make it actually
Okay.
work.
Okay. That's what I wondered. I was like, is this just more for us to look at and
Yes,
to see? And
it
then she
is.
has like P1, P2, P3. So I guess depending on how many students fall in each one, she's wanting them to put like the number of students that each fall in that category or whatever.
Which would, I think that is mostly designed to help you manage class. Like, all right,
Yeah.
if most of my kids are in that P2 kind of area, okay, we're
Hmm.
cool. We're just going to do the stations and I know who to give that extra support to,
Hmm.
that kind of thing, just to help with
Okay.
that decision making.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Excellent. You bet. Thank you. We can't wait for y'all to see this when it goes live. You're going to love it. It's amazing. Well, thank you all again so much for being here. We know your time is beyond precious. So just being here and investing in this time, we appreciate. I promise you will get that back when you see STAAReady. If you start using it, you'll get your time back. So we will be sending out a copy of the recording and the slide deck and what y'all need. So we're here if you have any questions, or again, reach out to us at sales@edusmart.com. And we look forward to making sure you're STAAReady. Thanks, y'all.